Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What is up? Happy Tuesday, June 3rd to everybody here at Sports Money. It's Pregaming. It's Monday through Friday. It's 6 p.m. We can't stop. We won't stop. We ain't going to stop trying to get this cash out there. Summertime don't matter. We're down to the dog days. However, the NBA playoffs will start on Thursday. We'll go live. We do our live stream here down to just a couple Thursdays. But the NHL playoffs will start tomorrow. The Oilers and the Florida Panthers. Tonight, we have a night. We have a full slate. Surprisingly enough, we have a big MLB slate. We've got tons of games in Major League Baseball. We've got 2 spots in the WNBA. I believe it's a 3-game card. Found 2 spots I think we can go out there and get paid with. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I am off-site. I'm on location for a beautiful day here in Western New York. It's 80 degrees. How about that? It's actually humid. It's actually hot. We're going to play some cornhole. We're going to watch some baseball. We're going to have ourselves a cookout. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. But hey, we got business to tend to first and foremost. So I appreciate everybody coming in here, hanging out with us, getting ready to go. Get your best bets going. We're going to start flowing here. We got a ton of games. I mentioned Cleveland and the Yankees, Philadelphia and Toronto. We've got the Angels in Boston, Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land, and the Cincinnati Reds. Pittsburgh and Houston. I know it's out of order, so we're actually going to start with that game. I added that one late. I know it's a Skeens day. We got to get going. Arizona, Atlanta, Kansas City, St. Louis. We'll close off the baseball card with San Diego and San Francisco. We'll pop these 2 WNBA games, and we'll get everybody out here ready to roll. Speaking of roll, I got a couple thoughts here. First and foremost, I started posting here. I did it today. You know, I go out there with my friend Sharpie, and we rock and roll in the afternoon with the K prop and RBI props. I've been talking about this for a while now, and there's a short list of spots that don't make the card, but it is Dinger Tuesday. I know some of you guys like to get involved and smack some parlays together as well. So I started posting where I thought the favorable matchups were. It's kind of my first cut, right? So kind of looking through the card and looking through the opportunities. First pass is what essentially I put on this card. So there's quite a few of them out there. You'll see the RBI prices, give you an opportunity to see if they move or not during the day. But they have tremendous batting opportunities. I think the advantage on those spots out there are with the batter. And then you can trim it down and decide how you want to play with them. I've put 4 RBIs out there, 4 RBI plays of the day today. 4 games across Major League Baseball, but a ton of action. So I think I'll start doing that. If you guys hit the thumbs up on the post, you can find it at the post on our YouTube page. Then I'll keep doing it. If you guys like it, I will keep doing it, and I will show you exactly where to find it. It's very simple. Trying to give you guys all the goods, all the things you need to go out there and cash big bets. Cash big bets? I cannot lie. Those other MFers might deny. Here's the deal. You go to the post tab. I'll show you exactly where it is as we get this show started. We got a lot of work to do. We don't have a lot of time to do it, so we're not going to dilly-dally. However, let me show you this. Here we go. You'll see it. Let me make sure you see it. There it is. The post tab. You'll see home, video, shorts, live playlist, posts. Here it is. The 4 official RBIs of the day. Excuse me. Let me try that again. 4 official RBIs. Kyle Schwarber, Rob Reichsnyder, Gunnar Henderson, and Freddie Freeman. Robbie R. got a lot of conversation going today. Some call him a bum. I think he's going to go out there and beat him up today with these Angels. I think he's good for at least 1 RBI, if not 2+. That's a great price tag for it. But you'll see the honorable mentions. These are favorable matchups, batter versus pitcher on down the run. I know it's a full card, but this is kind of what it looks like for me. So first pass, all these guys are jumbled together. I start to go through there and look at past 7 days, and I start to look at, the lefty-righty matchups and how the guys in front of them in the batting order are doing. I don't like to get too far past the 4-hole. The reason I'm showing this to you guys are because of our RBI contest. It will start chilling and grilling on Monday, June 9th. Also, I told you they don't like us succeeding. They get upset. They get angry. They don't like us to have fun, and I'm going to show you a little proof source here. Hang on. Don't you play yet. No, I can't show it here. But I'll tell you this. Some asshole thumbs down the RBI contest. Why would you thumbs down an RBI contest? It's free opportunity to get paid, and that's just the way that it goes around here, you guys. Sometimes they're not as original. They're not as engaged. They're not as committed. And so when they see somebody has a fun idea, they throw hate. They try to discriminate. They try to disrupt our positive flow in the YouTube algorithm. We ain't going to let that happen. So it's going to be something that continues to roll forward here. But I did want to share those RBIs with you guys because this contest will pop off on Monday. And a true friend, a true fella, just committed to this community, our friend, Sharpie Bets. Guy has been nothing but supportive. He don't care. He comes on. When he's free, he says, hey, pop me the link. I'll come hang out with you. We've been doing the RBI K-Prop show on his channel for over 2 years. He gives it to us on Tuesdays. He blesses us with the show on a Tuesday. Didn't ask for anything. Just said, hey, maybe I can help you guys over there too. And he has agreed to contribute an extra $50 to the contest now. An extra $50 from our friend Sharpie Bets. Doesn't want anything from it. Just wants to help everybody have some fun. We now have a huge barbecue contest going here. We've got rubs, sauces, enhancers. We've got a $50 gift card. We've got a $50 cash app. Now you got $100 on top of the other spices and seasonings that go into this thing to have it's going to be a great barbecue. And if you're in the Western New York area, I hope you win because I'm coming by. I told you I'm excited about this contest. I can't wait for it. The stakes have gotten higher. We are now at $100 in cash prizes, not to mention the other components that go into it. If you guys are cooking on the grill, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is, it's expensive. These sauces, these seasonings, these spices add up, and we're gonna stock your pantry. Essentially, is what's happening here. So you'll have the option whether you want to buy ribs or chicken or whatever else. Maybe you want to buy some booze. Maybe you want to get it back. Whatever it is you want to do with that cash, it's your choice. It's a free contest. And we're going to start it on Monday. So we might as well kick the commercial off for that thing. And we'll get this show on the road. Sports Money's excited to present Chillin' and Grillin'. It's our 4th of July contest designed to bring you a barbecue from the Sports Money family. Real simple contest. It's a ribeye play of the day. You too can get in the ribeye business. And it's a real simple contest. All you have to do is pick one player per day. The contest period runs from June 9th through June 19th. That's a 10-day contest. That means you pick one player. You'll see on the screen, Ohtani, RBI with the price and the book. You'll post that each day, one entry per day required for 10 total entries. And of course, you got to post it to the designated video. It's in the comments field that we want to focus on this contest. Entries, of course, must be in before the game starts. We'll tally them all up. When it's all said and done, we'll look at the best net gain, net profit generated from the RBIs. And the winner will receive the gift basket you see on the right, a gift card to pay for your barbecue fun. Enjoy the contest. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and keep the comments coming. We'll see you soon. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to our guy, Sharpie Bets, coming in here, giving a little sprinkler on the contest. And didn't ask him to do it. He just did it out of the goodness of his heart because he's a friend. He's a supporter. He just wants to go out there and give away. We're not asking for a single dollar in that contest. We just want to give you guys a big prize. It's one of the bigger single prizes that we've given out here. It might be the biggest now with all the other factors cost in there and then shipping on top of it. We will ship it to your residence and it'll be there in time for the 4th of July. So I'm excited. That's going to start on Monday. So get ready. We're going to have some things popping off here. And I see our guy, Old E, says, Sharpie is a legend. Of course, that's our guy. I'm on some Wi-Fi, so I may be a little disjointed. I'm off site today, so I apologize for any scrambling and jambling here, but we're excited. We're excited for the contest. It's a 10-day period. No cost to enter. You just have to enter every single day. So make sure you set your note, set your reminder. First thing in the morning, get up. Maybe you look for a ribeye, toss it in the contest. You never know. You never know if that's going to be good enough to go, but it should be fun. So that's the deal. We've got a full slate tonight to get involved with here. And can't wait to get after it. So we're going to share some best bets here. This contest is focused on comments in the designated video. It's going to be that same video that you see out there now. It's going to have the day labeled on it. I can't be any more clear. It's going to have the day labeled on it. So it's going to say day number 1, contest, 4th of July contest. Day number 2, day number 3. We'll recap it. We'll give you guys the results every single day. You'll see the leaderboard sitting over there on our post tab as well. And it's going to be all hands on deck. So the more, the merrier. I hope we get 1,000 people that enter because it'll make it miserable for me to record keep all of that. But I don't care. The more, the merrier. The more we get out there, the opportunity we have to grow, build this thing, bring some new people in here, some new ideas, some new philosophies and strategies around the way they bet means we make more money. In fact, we're about that point of the show where it's time to smash that thumbs up button. Post-show, you leave a comment. You guys have been doing a fantastic job with that. Lots of comments on the 4th of July contest. And somebody thumbs down it. I'm not lying to you guys about these haters, and some of them are in our own backyard. We know who they are. I know who they are. I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well, but no names here. Just proof source that they hate us having fun. They hate us because they ain't us. Hashtag not like us. Hashtag time to smash that thumbs up button. That's what helps us grow in show. Get them thumbs up out there. Let's get this thing going. We got a bunch of you guys checking us out on a regular basis. Now's the time. You smash the thumbs up in show. Post show, you leave a comment. In show, you smash that thumbs up button. We'll recap. We'll move on to the games themselves, and we will get the bow on the show and get this thing done so I can go start my evening. It sounds like the evening's already started without me. All right, I think what I've learned after plenty of time in my off-site location here, I think what I've learned here is there's no sound other than me talking. So as long as you guys can still hear me, now I've got this second monitor up, which is so crucial, so critical. Let's keep it rolling before we even get going. Oh my gosh. It's our guy, Cameron Sinnett. He's in here. He's ready to roll. He's giving a $50 dono. Cameron Sinnett comes through here, blessing our action before we've even started. You can't even see my cocktail here. It is a cocktail show because of the green screen. Let me put it in front of my face. Shout out to you, Cameron Sinnett, my brother, from another mother helping us get this show on the road. Barry says he hears me, so it's all good. Shout out to you, Cameron Sinnett. My goodness, busting the bank for us. Longtime supporter. And we appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Gifting us a $50 dono. We're getting this action on the road. I love it. I love what we're doing here, this community, helping each other out. That's what helps us keep the lights on here. We appreciate the donos. We appreciate the subscribers. We love the gifted memberships out there. And appreciate my guy, Cameron Sinnett, coming through here. $50 dono. Let's go. Let's go. In fact, let's get that pen and paper out because we're going to get going here. We're going to talk about the sharpest chat in the business, the best bets that they're on. They've been marinating on this card all day. They're ready to share them with us. And, oh man, I just looked over. I don't know if you saw my face. That was a true moment of panic. So I parlayed everything on the show today. And then I played them all individually. And when I saw the amount that was out there, I thought it was just the parlay. And I almost shit myself. Turns out I was wrong. I was mistaken. It's not. It's just aggregate of all them dollars and cents. But whoa, that was a little panic attack. I was like, I'm going to have to shut this show down and call the DraftKings support and tell them there's no way I put 4 digits on a parlay of 9 legs here. But anyways, let's get going, you guys. Let's talk a little bit, just a brief moment or so about yesterday. We did net some profit on the day. You know, I talked about it. I thought it was a situation that made a lot of sense, with one exception, and I'll own it. We'll talk about it here. First of all, the Nerfy got me. The Nerfy in the Miami, Colorado Rockies game. Oh. And it was done before the show. You guys saw me. I had to reset and reboot, literally live, like Minty Bets live on show. I had to reset and reboot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out. She even was like, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. I played a Nerfy for a big score, and it did not score at all. However, them Colorado Rockies came through. I know a couple of you guys messaged me that you live bet them. You guys are crazy SOBs there. I took the plus 180. They went down like, 4-1 or something like that. And I was like, man, that's not looking good. But I look back later, they closed the gap to be down 1, and they ended up winning 6-4. Final score. Final. As we hear with our guy, Ramon Scott. Final. Then we moved on. And the Red Sox could not come back. I thought they might be in trouble the first 5. I know a couple of you guys had the Los Angeles Angels in the first 5. They lost the game 7-6. I thought they could come back, but Rafael Devers, did I say it right? Nasty name? Devers? Rafael Devers gets his hit, and he got his over 1.5 runs, hits, runs, and RBIs. So he had 3. He got that nice and early for us. The under 9.5 cashed aplenty for us in the Cincinnati Reds Milwaukee Brewers game. They scored early and they stopped scoring around the first 5. It was a 3-2 final. I thought it was a weird spot. Lots of people liked the Cincinnati Reds. But how do you get in the way of a team that's got 8 straight wins in these Milwaukee Brewers, rolling again tonight against Cincinnati? The big loss of the night, I guess. 2 losses, I guess, right? The first, the White Sox. We took them plus 1.5. We got a plus 120, plus 130, something like that. Doesn't matter. They got busted up. They lost 13-1. Hey, counts as 1 loss. It felt like 50. Every time they got a run score down, I was just like, it was just a nail being pounded in and in and in, and they could never recover. In fact, they only scored 1 run. And I don't think they got it till like the 8th inning. So, hey, what are you going to do? Because we followed it up with the San Diego Padres. The Fathers won the game 1-0 against San Francisco. It was sweaty, but it was a winner, and that was a plus 150 price tag on that San Diego Padres spot. The Minnesota under 9.5 didn't cash. Minnesota scored 10 on their own. Oakland found another 4-pack as well. So there is something to be said. I know it was close to 500 in that Sacramento field, the Sacramento Athletics. But hey, we generated, we grind. Some days we're going to go 11-0. Some days we're going to go 7-4 and pick up a couple of units. Yesterday was a 1-unit day out there, so tis the way it goes. Hey, all things considered, there's only 7 games on the card, so generating a profit, I'll take it. 2-1 on the big dog spots out there. Sadly, some of you guys were on the over in that Mets game. I didn't give it out because I was fumble fucking around. Do I want to play the Mets or do I want to play the under? I ended up playing them both. They both cashed. But I didn't get them out on the show, so we're not going to celebrate those victories. Here's what we're going to do, though. We're going to get the pen and paper out so that we can talk about these best bets. You guys are on here. I said it, the best damn chat in the business assembles here. They're here. They've been working on this card all day. They're ready to give you their best bets. That's what we're all here for. It's my favorite part of the show. You'll see I got a lengthy card to share with you. But I'm excited about what you guys are on. So pen and paper out. Get those best bets in the chat. Let's run down the card. Let's give it a rip and see what you guys are on here. And our guy, Futon Bets, is going to pop us off numero uno commenter with a little Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronnie Acuna for a plus 150 DraftKings. What's important to know about the way our friend Futon Bets posted this comment is this is exactly what it should look like when you post your comment on the contest. Player, cost, book. So we can do some accounting. We can do some record keeping, stack ranking, keep everybody accountable. I know there's going to be some variance in the movement. So look, a couple bucks here and there, we're gonna forego it. But great way to do it, Futon Bets. Good luck to you for Ronald Acuna Jr. Thank you for giving us that example. And let's roll on to Joe Burt, Joe T, Joe, J-O, whatever you want to call him here. He's got the F-year underplay of the day, and he's going to Miami. He's going to that Colorado Rockies Marlins spot, and he's going over 8.5 with a reminder. Don't forget, and I can't stress this enough, you guys, when I talk about it being the sharpest chat in the business, it ain't no bullshit. It ain't no fluff. Some other guys will talk about it, and so be it, but they may even get some guys on screen to share some of their plays. But the reality here, you guys, with these, you guys are hitting over 70%. Over 70% on the community post tab, you'll find these polls. And Jover's reminding us not to forget the Stanley Cup Finals game number 1. Game number 1, go out there, get your vote. And I think we have about 20 in already. The better the sample, the better it gives us. But man, with these NBA finals, NHL finals, don't forget to check those polls out before you make your bet. Just to kind of 70% is a hell of a trend. That's probably one of the strongest edges across all of sports, and it's right here at Sports Money. So make sure you get that vote in there. Thank you, Jover, for posting that play. He also likes the Orioles and Mariners over 7.5. This is Kirby, Jorge is butt. I'm paraphrasing. Stop Geoengineering's coming in here. He's giving us Orlando Arcia homer. 11-1, small sample. But he's hit a homer versus Sandy. But as hits and homer versus Sandy. Excuse me, I read that wrong. Shout out to J Main. There's Gerald Jones with his best bet. He agrees with Jover. He likes Seattle and O's. The Baltimore O's over 7.5. And he's 51-41. I love the record, Gerald Jones. Transparency 101. You lead by example, and we do appreciate that. And he's coming in here. Win or loss, he comes in every day sharing a best bet, keeps his record updated. And I like Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson was one of the 4 RBIs I gave out today because I do expect there to be a favorable matchup. I'm not sure who's spamming to this, but he likes the parlay of the Yankees and the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers aren't on the card, but I do think it's a great bounce back spot for the Dodgers tonight. Shout out to Ramon Scott's been running so hot. Of course, guys, VB MMA Picks and Ramon Scott have their video out there already. It's not a video, it's actually live. You'll find it under the live recordings. 3 breakdowns for this UFC 316 card already up for you guys. Ready to check them out. Make sure you do check them out. Smash that thumbs up button and leave a comment there with your plays. We love talking about those. We love to, what we're going to start doing going forward is we're going to look at the plays you guys are on. We're going to put those across the scroll bar on the bottom when you leave your comments in there so that we can recognize what your guys' best bets are for this UFC as we move forward. That should be a lot of fun. Shout out to Redbeard. There's my guy, Barry. Says that show is fire. I think he's talking about the, I saw him pop in there with the Sharpie Walking Dead. Ramon's shouting out Sharpie for the extra $50 on that. Man, that contest is adding up. Shout out to Nicholas Handy. Redbeard says Soto RBI for him tonight, June 3rd. It counts. It doesn't count. The contest very clearly starts. You know what, though? It's not a bad idea, right? Because starting now and getting some of those plays out there, what's the hardest thing? The hardest thing is making that first play, right? Whether you're going live on screen or you're a guest on a screen or whatever the case may be, like you spend so much time and you grip the bat too tight is what happens. And what happens when you grip the bat too tight? your swing's a little bit off. So you're best getting out there now. Take a couple free shots. See if you can't get a nice little run moving into June 9th. And I'll tell you what, if somebody goes 10-0, as long as you didn't take Judge, Schwarber, or Ohtani every single game, if somebody goes 10-0, I'll toss some extra caveat in there. We'll add some sports money merch out there. I think somebody can go 10-0. Hell, I went 17-0 at one point. Why can't you go 10-0? Shout out to old E in the house. Says Sharpie is a legend. That's our brother, man. He's just good stuff. He's got great energy and always been a supporter. Matter of fact, the first guy to invite me on to talk about ribeyes and NA shows out there was Sharpie Betts. So I appreciate my guy, Sharpie. Redbeard says 50 bones. What a guy. Shout out to Irish King. Let's go. Let's go. Cameron net says everybody get a little bit of this Pacers Eastern Conference Champions money. I appreciate you, man. I know you fucking cranked it, dude. That was awesome. That was an awesome win. Good for you, my man. Let's go. Irish King says, put that 50 on the Pacers to win the chip. I don't disagree with that. Pacers to win the chip. Barry says, very generous. I love you guys, man. Way to build this community. Derek B says, where's the Nerfy? I don't know. I'm not very good at those. I used to be better. There's so many moving parts. I don't know. Redbeard says, Marlins team total over. Rays team total over. Barry likes Skeens to get over 6.5 Ks. Redbeard says, final. Barry says Colorado will now lose 20 in a row. I wouldn't be surprised if they win tonight and then they go off and lose 20 in a row. Like, you're good for one or two, and then you kind of regress back to who you are. All right, let's go. Let's get her going here. Irish King says, I'm 1-0 on Colorado Moneyline. My first and only Colorado win this season. Let's go. Tarek B says, I had the Red Sox too. Those losers almost came back. Yeah. Same with the Dodgers. Yeah. Redbeard thinks the Mets are going to smash. Shout out to our guy. Nasty Nate. Irish King, Acuna Jr. home run. Irish King, Philly Moneyline and Schwarbaum. Not a bad look. There's Aubrey. Bring the 707, huh? I'm not sure. Let's go. Trisha M's in the house. So just voted on the poll. Minus 500 on my play. You guess it. Ice Cats. Trisha M's Ice Cats. Redbeard says Trisha's back. Markel. Rico. In other words, he's not having his best international soccer. Futon likes a Trout RBI. Stop Geo likes the Rockies' first 5 team total over 1.5. That's not a terrible look. I love you guys going back and forth. The Futon says, Nerfy, Pittsburgh game or Brewers game. Locked in on his card. Grandpa Ernie, start the picks, dude. Jesus. Thank you, Grandpa Ernie. 32 minutes of nonsense is a pick show. Well, guess what you just got, my friend? Shut down. Ernie's mad. Ernie's one of them haters. And now Ernie's shut down, Grandpa Ernie. Thank you, Grandpa Ernie. 30 minutes. You know what, Grandpa Ernie? Despite me taking your voice away from you because you misbehaved in our community, I told you it's more important for me to talk about the bets you guys are on than my bets themselves. I love to see what you guys have to go on here. Now, you may be here in contrary, thinking you want to hear about my bets. I'll share them with you. Let's go. Let's keep her rolling. I like to pull the trigger fast. I ready, fire, aim. And if Grandpa Ernie caught some shrapnel in there because he decided to mouth off, then that's it. Public example of what not to do in this piece here. So let's go. Let's move quickly. I got a lot of things going on here, so we're going to move this thing down the line. We're going to pop right off in game number 1. We're going to take the under in Paul Skeens Day. You know the deal. You know the situation. You know what he looks like here. And we've got a big movement towards the Pirates. Now, they've won and lost in bunches. We'll keep it short and sweet for you guys. 66% of the bets, 74% of the cash on the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's moved from minus 154 to minus 160. The total's dropping despite 81% of the bets on the over, 76% of the cash on the over. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to fire, and we've got intersecting zeros. So why wouldn't we? The Astros, as road doggies, find themselves 15-0 to the under. They're going under by 2.1 runs a game. Correlate that. What I like about this Pittsburgh correlation is it has nothing to do with Paul Skeens. However, it is Skeens Day, and the Pirates are 12-0 to the under. If they got less than 9 hits the previous game, and the team they're playing is averaging less than 5 runs. That one is great because it tells you two things. One, Pirates aren't hitting, and two, they're going less than 5 runs a game. So they're averaging 4.2. I'm sorry, the team they're playing is averaging less than 5 runs a game. They're averaging 4.2 runs a pop out there. We're going to open the card up. We're going to take the under 7, low big opportunity. We'll keep her moving on to game number 2. I told you I was a little out of sequence. That was a late ad for me that I decided to pop in there with here. Cleveland Guardians. It's going to be game number 2. I'm not going to mess with that Rockies Marlins. I feel like we got our money yesterday. For what it's worth, there's a lot of money coming in on the Marlins. 84% of the bet, 75% of the cash, and it hasn't moved. So I do think this might be another Colorado Rockies spot. I'm not going to fuck with it, though. Cubs and Nationals, not going to mess with that one either here. But 7-0-5 start with the Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees. Big money coming in on the Yankees. 91% of the bets, 95% of the cash. There's a Yankees tax in there. Think about that. They open up at minus 190. Everybody loves their Big Ernie there. Likes the Yankees, I'm sure. He's on the Yankees money line, probably. He didn't post it, but I'm sure he likes them Yankees money line. And nonetheless, here, 89% of the bets and 88% of the cash are on the over 8. It's Rodon, the lefty, against Bybee. Now, our guy Sharpie thinks Bybee is vulnerable to some degree here. 3.86 ERA for Bybee. 2.6 ERA on this Yankee side of things here. And we're going to roll back to the under. I'm telling you this right now. Here's my disclaimer. If you like unders, today's your card. Carlos Rodon, the lefty coming out there. I talked about his ERA. He's 9-0 to the under as a home favorite. If it's bigger than a minus 120 out there for Carlos Rodon, they're averaging 6 runs a game. So despite the fact that you might think an 8 is low, it's not that key number of 9. We talk about the 7s and the 9s. It's right below there at 6.1 runs a game. And Cleveland finds themselves as unders in road games. First road game after a home spot out there against good teams, right? So good teams defined by teams that are winning more than 45% of the time out there. Not even good teams, just really any team except for the really bad teams. They probably beat up on things like the White Sox and the Colorado Rockies, but 12-0 to the under in road games after a home game. So the first road game after a home game, and they're going under by 2.4 runs per game. That means the under 8 should be good money. Let's keep her rolling. What do you guys have to say? I have background noise. I'm off site, dude. Off site and trying to give you guys winners. So, I apologize for the background noise. Not much I can do about it at this point there. The door has been shut. The fun is outside. I am inside trying to give you guys some of these winners out there. And we'll keep her moving. We'll keep her rolling. I thought this was a difficult spot for me to get involved with here. Phillies, catching action, 68% of the bets and 75% of the cash. I mean, this is prototypical. The line's gone from minus 162 to minus 130. Reverse line movement. The total's moved up. In some spots, it's still juiced at the 8.5, but there are some 9s at even money. You have 91% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the over. I do think this is an over game. We've got Bowden Francis coming in here with a 5.04 ERA, coming off a decent start for Bowden Francis. Chris Sanchez coming out here with a 3.32 ERA, catching wins. I wish I had more there's a little bit more than a gut instinct on this one. First of all, the Blue Jays are on fire. What are they, 7 straight wins in a row? Now, granted, it was Oakland and it was Texas. They kind of caught some soft scheduling spot, but I do believe what that does is it instills confidence in your batters. You got guys like Vladdy Guerrero standing on the bump and or standing in the diamond there in the batter's box thinking, I'm going to fucking mash these potatoes. On the other side of things here, the Phillies, what do we know about the Phillies? They were leading the NL. They were leading Major League Baseball. They got one of the hottest batting rotations in the game here. Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs. I might be missing somebody, but it doesn't matter. Point is, Bryce Harper takes that 92-mile-an-hour heater off the elbow, and he's out. And now what happens? Well, the star player gets out of the lineup, and they start losing. They kind of messed up that little rhythm and that chemistry. They lose to Atlanta that last game of the series, 9-3. Then they followed up, and they get swept by the Milwaukee Brewers, who are on the uptick. Milwaukee's playing great. It was beat down City, though, 6-2, 17-7, and 5-2 for those games out there. To me, this is a spot where I want to get involved in fading the team when their star player comes back. That's game number one. That is this spot here with Bryce Harper. Game number one, star player comes back out there. We do want to get in the fade business. Now, one of the hottest teams in the first game of the series are the Philadelphia Phillies. But look, you can't dismiss what Toronto's doing right now. And they're at home. So you got Phillies in a travel spot. Ultimately, we've got ourselves a little 14-10 edge to the Toronto Blue Jays. And frankly, this is one of those spots where you look at the line and it definitely has some fish aspect to it. Why is Toronto, or I should say, why is Philly in this case, kind of that small dog here? And the line's moving. Everyone's betting on him and it's moving against him because it's a Toronto spot here. We're going to fade the team with the star player coming back. That is the Phillies. I think it's going to be a great hitting game here. I like Stott. You'll see on the hitting report, Stott. I like Kyle Schwarber as my RBI play of the day. But Vladdy Guerrero is another guy you have to look at out there. What I like about Schwarber most in this spot is he does have Harper in front of him. So if Harper's going to, grimace and try to get his timing back down, I still think it's a great opportunity to get involved with, Schwarber. Schwarber coming in there, batting up after him in the 4 spot. Maybe in a week from now, Bryce Harper's cleaning all those spots up, but I don't see that being the case as we roll on here. Let's see what you guys have to say. Markel likes the Jays there. Says, I hate the Jays, but today, I love the Jays as a team. I hate them this year, but I like them in this spot as well, my friend. Irish King likes the Houston money line. Redbeard likes Nemo. Yeah, like I can't help the no. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully it's better out there. I know it's going to be the grill and some cornhole rolling around here all night tonight. So it's going to be some fun as we watch these baseball games here. But hey, we got work to do. Let's keep her going. Tarek B's on Toronto as well. I'm sure Big Earn is probably on the New York Yankees here. I'm sorry, the Philadelphia Phillies. Why wouldn't he be? Seems like a Big Earn type of play. We muted him because he misbehaved. So he doesn't get a voice, but I'll speak on his behalf. And we'll talk about the Los Angeles Angels and the Boston Red Sox to kick this 7-10 space off here. I don't know what to do with these Red Sox. Man, they had a shitty month of May. There's no doubt about it. It was horrible. It was atrocious. They opened up as a favorite here, minus 142. I like the bats with the Angels. They're not quite in that top 3 ranking, but they're like top of the middle upper. If you guys know this reference from, they're not middle or middle lower, they're middle upper. If you know what reference that is, I'll be impressed. 73% of the bets and 74% of the cash are on the Red Sox. The lines come down. It's really oscillated, I guess. It's come down to minus 134 for the Red Sox. It opened at plus 120 on the Angels. It's moved to plus 122. The total starts at 9s. We saw some 9.5s out there. 78% of the bets and 77% of the cash on the over. It's Bayo and Kikuchi. That pitching matchup is crucial. Crucial that we recognize what's going on with this one. Now, Angels obviously got yesterday's go. Devers. Excuse me. Sorry, nasty name. Devers. Got it going. He got out there with his 3 hits, runs, and RBIs. Tyler Anderson, man, mowed him down early. Now, the bullpen for the Angels is where I think opportunity lies in this game, and we saw that yesterday, right? I mentioned these pitching matchups here. I'm going to give it to you guys again, just at a rapid pace here. We'll keep her moving. I paid up a little bit to take that hook off of here because I do believe that key number of 9 and seeing the movement in 9.5 tells us everything we need to know about this game. You want to look at these 2 pitchers. You want to talk about over trends. Kikuchi, non-divisional starts when the total's better than a 7.5 and gave up less than 5 runs his last start. In other words, they're expecting runs, and Kikuchi just had a good game. They're going over. 9-0 to the over. They're going over by 4.8 runs per game. 4.8 runs per game. Healthy margin, which is crucial because we've got that 9 that did move to 9.5. I like to get the 9 back in there just in case we have the push factor. But what the numbers suggest 12, 13 runs in this game. And how about a contrary or a corollary? Bam. He's 9-0 to the over in a favorite spot after a decent game. Less than 25 batters faced and 1 or more home runs. the over in his games are going over by 12.5. Or I'm sorry, the average is 12.5 in those spots. So you got Kikuchi kind of coming off a decent start, at least by the metrics, and less than I don't know, 5 runs. Is that a decent start or not? I'm not entirely, not really. I'd be pissed if he was on my fantasy team. And Bale with less than 25 batters, average 12.5. Last but not least, we got the Angels. Cherry on top, 15-0 to the over. In the dog roll, after a win as a dog, the average runs being scored, 13.2. You can think about laddering this SOB. How about that? Why not? Why not take a look? Shout out to Skunk Blaster. Skunk Blaster coming in here with the $4.99 dono. Shout out to you, Skunk. I looked earlier today for the leaderboard. I got to work on it. I'm going to have to do some manual preparation. But shout out to you, Skunk Blaster, blessing our action, keeping us rolling, keeping us moving in the right direction. Nasty Nate, I think the scoreboard smashes tonight in this game here. Let's keep her moving. That's the only over on the card tonight. Spoiler alert. It's the only over on this card. Now, Big Earn might have some overs. But we're not going to know because we can't hear from him because he misbehaved. He did the old FAFO, as they call it. And it's my show. So that's the way we roll here. Brewers and the Reds. Moving on down the line next. Hopefully you guys get as much enjoyment out of banning somebody as I do. I try to make some fun of it too. Minus 118 moved to minus 124. 45% of the bets and 58% of the cash came in on the Cincinnati Reds. We talked about it yesterday. Wasn't sure what side to get invested in. And for what it's worth, we had the under. It was the right play. Obviously, I mean, it cashed. It wasn't just the right play because it cashed, but better to stay away from the side. I kind of feel the same again in this one. Big money coming in. And it's moving towards the Reds, so they do suggest a bounce back. The eights, we have 76% of the bets and 75% of the cash on the over. We have the false front. We have Hunter Green with a 2.63 ERA. We have Freddie Peralta with a 2.77 ERA. Hunter Green back after his little respite. He had a little pause out there with a small injury factor going on out there. I know the Brewers' bats are on fire. 5 or more runs in 5 straight. That's why they're on their, 8 straight winning streak out there? If Cincinnati's going to win this game, they're going to score more than Milwaukee, and we know that these bats can get hot or cold at any given time. If we're suggesting Cincinnati's going to win, let me talk to you about some unders here. Cincinnati's under as a home team on a 3 or more game losing streak over the last 3 years. They're 18-3 to the under. 18-3. Furthermore, if you take that back and you look even over a greater period of time, they're 49-14 to the under when they're on that 3 or more game losing streak out there. The line suggests Cincinnati's going to win. I think this is a pretty decent Hunter Green start with this Brewers team that, they've been firing with those bats. I can't disagree with that, but I can't not recognize these numbers and see this 8.5 here. We saw 3-2 yesterday. It's bullpens. The bullpens came in and cleaned up. I think they literally held both teams scoreless after that 5th inning. And I suspect now you're upgrading the pitching to start. So you've got strong bullpen. You've got great trends in Cincinnati showing that they're going to fail in this game. And ultimately, there weren't a lot of guys that popped up on the radar between both these teams and the Brewers and the Reds that suggested that we would see runs being scored on either side. So I'm going to run back to it. If it ain't broke, let's not fix it. None. Let's just flip that 250 into 1,000 on blackjack and slots. Let's go. All right. Let's keep her moving here. Keeping a brisk pace. Talk about your guys' plays. We'll talk about my plays. We'll get the bow on the show, and we'll get up out of here. We've got Arizona and Atlanta next on the card. Look, I'm laughing because I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, man, I got a lot of unders. And I talked this about yesterday. The weather in the Northeast is starting to materialize here. We're starting to get some nice 80. It's 80 degrees today. It's going to be 92 tomorrow. Tomorrow, probably, I'd be inclined to look at the overs. But we have a lot of getaway day spots tomorrow. And what do we know about getaway day spots? Players aren't as dedicated at the mound. They're swinging. They just want to get the hell out of town. 91% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the over 9. It's coming down. It's coming down. Reverse line movement with a ton of over cash, almost 20,000 tickets baked into this Arizona-Atlanta game. And then we look at the total, the side, and it's moving a little bit. I guess the public is looking for Atlanta to bounce back. 70% of the bets, right? We look at the bets, the cash, and then try to find the differential. Generally speaking, we look at the percentage of bets. Those are going to be your parlay slips, your teaser tickets, your player props, everything. The public generally associated with the percentage of bets. And then the percentage of money, generally we consider that to be the bigger bettors. The sharper bettors, maybe betting a little bit more. They're not fucking around with parlays and teasers. But we have a Joes versus pros, or pros versus Joes scenario here. 70% of the bets on the Braves, 70% of the cash. That's a 40% differential on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Might be the highest on the card tonight. We have Spencer Strider with a 4.5 ERA. Spencer Strider, here's the thing. He has not caught a win as a starter yet this season. 4.5 ERA. Zach Gallen rolls in here with a 5.54 ERA. Has caught some wins, 3 and 7. Plenty of sample size to work with for the road team in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ultimately, I was looking at this one, and what do we know? Well, what do we know first and foremost is we've been riding this Atlanta series opener unders. They're a perfect 10-0 to the under, and it's the margin. Sometimes I look at these SDQL numbers, and I think, this is what the books are using to set their line. Why is all the action coming in on the over and the line's not moving, or it's moving to the under? Well, it's because the under, it's the margin of 3.4 runs a game that Atlanta finds these unders that they cook. So no shit, everyone's betting the over and thinking Atlanta's going to bounce back, but the books know that there's 3.5 runs of margin baked into that 9, the key number, and it's not coming off the key number. That's the most important part. Can't talk about that enough. How about Gallen? Good old Zach Gallen, non-division after a losing start. I don't know that he bounces back. I do think he bounces back tonight, but he's 12-0 to the under, and his margin for the under be 3.1 runs per game. So I like me a little bit of spot there with Zach Gallen and company to keep the. I think Arizona probably wins this game. Ultimately, I'm just going to get invested on the under 8.5. It's an even money spot. 8.5. I took it down off the 9. How about that? Kelly V thinks he might be hurt, though. After up 6-0 and lost 9-6 versus Pittsburgh, I'll not bet on Arizona. We'll see. Irish King says, I played roulette. Cashed twice on 17 yesterday. It was crazy. Tell you guys, pick the number on the board, the wheel. Not the board, the wheel. Pick your number. My number's 18. You go 2 to the left. It's like 6 and 31. And 2 to the right are 19 and 21. 6, 18, 19, 21, and 31. Those are my numbers. It's 5 spot of numbers on the roulette wheel. You cover 18% of the board. Theoretically, you win once every 6 times. If you win once every 6 times, you're up money. If you put if you're on a $15 minimum table, you're putting $3 down per spot. That means you win $105. 6 times 15 works out to be 90, right? 90, 6 times 15, 6 games. Once every 6 you're going to win is 90. You net 105, 35 to 1. That means you're picking up $15. Theoretically. Now, what happens is things run in streaks, right? Maybe you pick up your number 2 or 3 times in a row. What I like about covering that 1/5 of the board is how many times have you seen your number pop up and then it goes left or right? Pops right off the 18 and it lands on 21. We still won. And before I started picking other numbers, I would even extend it 1 more on each side. Cover 7 numbers across the clip if you're feeling froggy. How about that? We'll slip in a contest. We'll slip in an upgrade on the contest. We'll talk about our chat's best bets. We'll talk about these best bets, and we'll slide in some roulette action for you guys. I've heard me talk about it several times here. No fear for me. Look, Cincinnati Reds, the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals in this spot there. This line is rolling against the Cardinals. 78% of the bets, 75% of the cash. The number's coming down. It's oscillating. It's another oscillator. What do I mean by oscillating? It's gone from minus 152 to minus 145 for the Cardinals. It's gone from plus 128 to plus 130 on the other side of things for Kansas City. So we're not getting a good tell from a side perspective. The total has moved. 76% of the bets and 80% of the cash have gone from 8.5 to 9. It's Palante and Lorenzen. Kansas City 4.33 ERA with Lorenzen. 4.23 for Palante. I feel like this is one of them situations where you got to look at these teams. We've talked about these Central Division teams and how they match up and their propensity to go unders. And that's where I like the spot here. We have seen 4 of the last 5 games for the Cardinals have gone over. The thing about that is look at their runs and look at their runs as of late. We know they went on like a 15-run clip. They busted up the Phillies. They lost 11-1 to Texas. They won 2-0 Texas. They lost 8-1 Texas. We're catching the Cardinals with the books pricing them as a buy low. And the numbers are kind of correlating and giving us a little discount. The flip side of things here, the Royals got shut out 1-0. The Royals, interesting spot for the Royals. I talked about their inconsistency in bats. They win 1-0 against Detroit. Then they follow it up and they lose 1-0 against Detroit. So we got 2 teams kind of caught in their slump, caught in their little, I don't know, their little deficiency right now. I like the under quite a bit in this spot here. Thing about this one to me is I'm a little concerned about the bullpen for the Cardinals. If you look at Lorenzen's last 3 starts on the Kansas City side of things here, 3 runs for, 4.7 runs against. Probably going to see some runs, but we do have that bullpen alert for this St. Louis Cardinals side of things here. I thought this was a tricky spot. I'll tell you what I did. I looked for a bounce back. The St. Louis Cardinals are 9-1 as a home team coming off a loss playing a righty pitcher. 9-1. I took the Cardinals -1. I got it at minus 108 for the Cardinals -1. Keeps our push in play. And the last spot I've got for you guys in baseball, keeping her rolling as we get ready for 2 WNBA spots. I'll drop it on the screen for you guys. 2 things. We caught the 1-0 yesterday with the Padres. We know the Giants' runs aren't coming across the board. We see this thing's moving Giants' direction. 59% of the bets public on the Giants. And the Sharps agree. 68% of the cash. It's moved from -146 to -158. Total's gone from 7.5 to some 8. Still juiced at 7.5. 73% of the bets on the over. Only 61% of the cash. That little column that says differential means that there's some bigger money coming in on this under. And it makes sense. Both these teams can go through a hitting slump out there. The Padres are going to Burger. Probably an opener. Not necessarily the primary in this spot out there. And is it Root for the San Francisco Giants? I like this to be a Giants bounce back spot. I think that despite the low runs here, I was on the under from day one. Look at some of these. Look at this. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. They lose 4-3 to Detroit. Under. They win 2-0 against Miami. Under. They lose 1-0 to Miami. Under. They win 4-2 against Miami. Under. They lose 1-0 against San Diego. What happens after a team gets shut out? They tend to bounce back and win the games. 3 of the last 4 games have gone to the under for the Padres as well. So I put a parlay together for these 2 teams here. I thought this was just look, the Giants are 11-0. If they're a favorite of more than -130, and they got shut out the last game, that is the definition of bounce back. The books aren't scared of those cold bats. They're 11-0. They're making them a favorite, and they continue to kick ass and take names. The under, as long as they're not an egregious favorite over -210, it's 14-0 for the Giants in this spot tonight. So it made a lot of sense. Let's parlay these 2 together. Let's not worry about the -1s. Let's just get a 1-0 win for these San Francisco Giants, and let's parlay it with that under, and let's cash a 2-1 spot on the board. I do agree. We're going to move on to the WNBA here. Closing thoughts. We're going to go with our guy Skunt Blaster and his Mystics plus 5.5. The biggest thing for me in the WNBA, I don't get to see the cash flow. I got to find another site for that because I'd prefer to see it. Here's what we saw with the line. The line opened at 3.5 in favor of the Fever. We know Caitlin Clark out. We're not at the star player's first game out theory. She's out for a minute. The line moved to 4.5. It skipped. It went to 5. It went to 5.5. And now we've got late betting coming in on the Washington Mystics. 3 and 4 Washington Mystics. Overall, Mystics, this comes down to me as it's a fate of the Fever. Since Caitlin's gone out, they won their first game, they've lost 85-83 to the Connecticut Sun. Washington, they lost. They got busted up. They're 4-point favorites. They're favorites of both these games, and they lost outright. Collectively, between those two spots here, we see the Mystics are 2-2 their last 4 games out there. Back-to-back home games. Fade City on the Fever. Give me the Mystics, and I'll take all those points. I think they might even be a live dog to close the card out. We're going to go to this spot here. The Phoenix Mercury find themselves in a position against the Minnesota Lynx. There's a couple things to look at with this game. First of all, the Lynx are 7-0. They are struggling to cover the spread. The Mercury 5-2, and my favorite term in sports, the dog. I love getting involved in the dog here. 3-1 are the Mercury their last 4 games. Dogs have back-to-back spots out there. They just played the Lynx. 74-71 on their home court. 5 points. They covered. They lost by 3. Now they're finding themselves rolling on the road to go back out there in a rematch spot to some extent. But, for me, this is the big public dog spot. It's 85-50 in favor of the Mercury. 85-50. And it's been crushing. It's 1-0 on the season to start out there. It comes down to a dog, 11.5 or more points, getting some reasonable spread action from the public. The public like the dog in a big spread spot. We've seen those continue to cover. We know they've got some stars. They're 5-2, and we know the Lynx aren't covering the spread. That's the way we're going to put the bow on the show. Give you guys the Phoenix Mercury at plus 12.5. And we got it done before 7 p.m. How about that? Is that not a glorious thing? Let's roll the promo one last time. We'll put the bow on the show and get everybody up out of here. Smash that thumbs up button on your way out the door on behalf of the Sports Money crew. Thank you guys for doing what you do, coming in here, watching us on a regular. And we'll get again tomorrow. We'll see my guy, Ramon Scott's running so hot at 9 a.m. for the morning steam. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you. Sports Money's excited to present Chillin' and Grillin'. It's our 4th of July contest designed to bring you a barbecue from the Sports Money family. Real simple contest. It's a ribeye play of the day. You too can get in the ribeye business. And it's a real simple contest. All you have to do is pick one player per day. The contest period runs from June 9th through June 19th. That's a 10-day contest. That means you pick one player. You'll see on the screen, Ohtani, RBI with the price and the book. You'll post that each day, 1 entry per day required for 10 total entries. And of course, you got to post it to the designated video. It's in the comments field that we want to focus on this contest. Entries, of course, must be in before the game starts. We'll tally them all up. When it's all said and done, we'll look at the best net gain, net profit generated from the RBIs. And the winner will receive the gift basket you see on the right, a gift card to pay for your barbecue fun. Enjoy the contest. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and keep the comments coming.